Do you guys believe college is hard? As you all know, college can be very hard and challenging at times. Try managing college while also practicing every single week and also having games to play where you put your bodies on the line. Me, personally, as a college student, I know it can be rough at times, and it's probably going to get worse as the years go on. These college athletes have to go through this all the time. On top of that, these big name D1 athletes bring a ton of money for their sports programs. D2 and D3 athletes may not, but D1 athletes bring in millions of dollars each year for their sports programs. On top of it all, these players are risking their bodies out there just to get noticed so they can go pro. They also do this so the fans have something to watch. Now the colleges benefit from this. They bring in these millions of dollars, but these athletes don't get paid for it. Let's get into these reasons why I believe athletes should be getting paid. Many of these athletes get scholarships, but that doesn't cover food and wardrobe. Now, when you're a D1 college athlete especially, you're practicing all the time, you're playing sports. For example, football, you need to get big to be good at that sport usually. You can't get big if you're eating no food. If you're living off ramen noodles, you're not going to be able to play football. These athletes also need a wardrobe. Now, a lot of these athletes come from poor backgrounds. Some of them may be okay in life. Their parents might have done okay, but a lot of athletes come from a very poor background, and they can't afford to buy their kids clothes or anything. So these athletes need clothes to go out in. Like, say they want to go on a date, they need clothes to do that. In some cases, these players can suffer from this. A lot of people may not see this. They may think, oh, they're getting full rides, or they're getting scholarships. A lot of these players suffer because of what they go through. They don't have enough food to eat. They don't have clothes to go out into. Yes, schools may give you school branded clothes, but that's about it. Other people may say, oh, they need to get a job. Well, if you're playing college sports, you can't get a job that pays over $2,500 a year. That is nothing. A lot of people can make that in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I don't know. Now, college athletes bring in a ton of money off of these athletes. Or college athletes bring in a ton of money for their schools. They bring in money through viewership, jersey sales, or tickets to watch games. According to AL, an Alabama news site, the bottom line has Alabama's total athletics revenue at $177.5 million, which is up from $174.3 million from the previous year, which was the school's record. Imagine bringing in all that money for a school and you're not getting a cut out of it. According to Michael Wilbon of ESPN, there's an $11 million deal between the NCAA and CBS Turner Sports for just 3 weekends of televised basketball. 3 weekends per year. Now, he also says that there's also a $500 million deal between BCS and ESPN. Now, I believe since they're bringing all this money for these schools, they should at least be able to sign endorsements. Big names like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, they cannot get money from their names right now. They can't sign endorsements for like Nike, Adidas. Now, Trevor Lawrence is the most highly anticipated college athlete in some time, maybe since LeBron James. But he can't make a single dime off of his name, and he can't sign an endorsement because he's not a pro yet. David Kenyon of Bleacher Report says, for the next 2 seasons, though, Lawrence will be an unpaid superstar, racking in millions of dollars for the University of Clemson, while risking a career-altering injury for free. Now that says a lot. This man is bringing in this millions of dollars while also putting his body on the line, just for this university. The last reason why I believe college athletes should be getting paid is because it's like a full-time job for them. These athletes have to practice every single week. They have to go to games. A good example of how many hours they practice a week is, according to a Business Insider article, many student athletes, however, reported that they practice at least 30 hours a week on average, with some sports reporting that they commit more than 40 hours a week. That is like a full-time job for these students. They have to basically do a full-time job while also going to school. Now, they are called student athletes, meaning being a student becomes first. If these athletes don't pass their classes and get good grades, they won't go to the pros because they won't graduate college. Now, my solutions to this is pretty simple. First, allow players to get a small cut of the millions of dollars these schools bring in each year. I'm not saying give them a big cut, I'm saying give them a small percentage, just so they can get by and afford some clothes, some food, all that. Second, something is in the works with the NCAA right now that will allow the players to make money off the name. Now, this includes things like jersey sales. What I think should be included is they should be able to sign endorsements in college. These players will get a ton of money signing endorsements with like Nike, for example, and that'll definitely help them. People like Trevor Lawrence will get the recognition they deserve and get the money that they deserve because of their name and their skills. Another solution is give players a prize besides a ring if they win the final championship. When you go to like March Madness and you win the whole tournament, you don't get money for it. The school gets money for it, but the players get a ring. See, in my opinion, I think it's cool they get a ring, but they need to get awarded for their hard work and what they did for the whole season in order to get where they are now. Now let me recap for you guys. 3 reasons why we went over 3 reasons why I believe they should have been paid, which is they get scholarships but they need food and wardrobe. They bring in tons of money for their schools. And this is also like a full-time job for these students. Now imagine you're in their shoes. It may be hard looking outside their shoes. You may think they have it all, but in reality they really don't. Especially for these people that come from poor backgrounds that are suffering.